got me running, got me running. Shake it, shake it, shake it, baby. Raise your hands up, raise them up.
All right, hi everyone, and it is back, guys. We've got the daily currency call here with Forex Trading Asia. It is the 30th of September 2021, and it is episode 384. And it is a pleasure to have everyone back as well. And if you are new to the channel and to the currency call, a big welcome as well. And a quick introduction too. So we do this currency call every Monday to Friday, and the currencies we analyze are as follows. On Monday, we do the Aussie and Kiwi. On Tuesday, we do the Euro. Wednesday, we do the Pound. And then Thursday, today, we're doing Yen and Gold. And Friday, we do CAD and Crypto. So this is the currency call where you'll get market economic updates, key support and resistance levels, trade ideas, and of course, much more. This currency call is going to be very beneficial to both the long-term investors and also the short-term traders, where we will go through what could move prices, possible trade ideas, and we'll also highlight potential targets and risks. A disclaimer as well is that any information shared during this session is not intended to be a trade recommendation. It is solely the opinion and views of the speaker. So please remember to do your own analysis prior to entering any trades. So it is Thursday, everyone. And just to start off with, I'll go through the US dollar, and I'll go through the yen pairs, and I'll also go through gold as well, and just what's going on in the markets. And certainly there has been quite a lot going on. And for anyone that is in the call today and is with Forex Briefcase already, there's been a lot happening on the account as well. I'm also invested, and it's been a pretty nice week so far. So that is good. Now, what I'll do just to start with is let's just go to the US dollar, because that's definitely a talking point as well currently. And Jin did mention this yesterday with the fact that there was going to be some more upside. And look, honestly, I'll happily admit that I was incorrect. I was thinking that we would have a little bit more subdued action, maybe poke through that 93.50 level that we recently saw, and maybe into the 70s. But as you can see from the daily candle, it really did shoot up. We got to 94.40 nearly. Yeah, it was 94.41. Now, what I've done here is I'm going to the weekly now. So this gives a little bit of context as to where we are, and what I like to look for is, space to the left. So if we poke out here over, 95.50 or so, which was the highs, seen back in, this was last year. This was the 20th of September, the week ending the 20th of September last year. So we're talking 12 months ago is when we were around here, and then there was a pullback. And then what we saw then was that significant rally in the US markets, and it was, particularly bullish. And now we're back up here again. So it's going to be a point to focus on. But anyway, what I'll go to now is the news. So we've got the Forex economic calendar here, thanks to Forex Trading Asia. And just remember as well, guys, with this, it is a free site to register with. Once you do, you log in, you like articles, and you can accumulate points as well. And that will, once you accumulate enough points, you'll be able to redeem an Amazon gift card. So you earn while you learn. Now, let's go to the Wednesday news here. All right, so now yesterday there was a lot of, and Kim Hong mentioned this in the LCMS Traders Club in the trading chat, there was a lot of commentary. Everyone was speaking from the central banks pretty much, except, Australia and New Zealand. But there was a lot of that. And one thing that we were discussing before the call, Ed, was there anything, worth mentioning? And, one thing that did come up, which was Jerome Powell did mention, still inflation is transitory. So that was, mentioned. But frankly, what we saw in the markets was that the US dollar remains, the king currently, and it's hard to ignore. Now, for today, so it is Thursday, and we're focusing on the yen. So let's just have a look at this morning. So we did have industrial production month on month. That came out, that was significantly down. And retail sales were also, significantly down as well. It was forecast to be -1 and it was -3.2. And then the previous month was 2.4%. So, I mean, this is a year-on-year figure, but it's definitely, COVID is still very much relevant in Japan as well. And it seems that, retail sales are struggling. So we'll go through now and just see what else is going on. So in regards to the yen, what we do focus on is the pound yen, the euro yen, and the USD yen. So very much relevant is also focusing on the pound. And, if we have been monitoring that as well, and it's been offering some really nice setups, but frankly, it's been, really sold off. So what Jin did mention yesterday was this GDP figure, the quarter on quarter for the second quarter, 4.8% is expected. That's going to be one to watch just to see if we can see a slight decrease, because everyone's talking about the reversal on the pound, but we just want to be cautious and just wait and see where it goes. Because once you're in a trend, it's very easy to get run over by taking a reversal trade. So I just want to go down now and also mention we've got the GDP for the US as well, and we've got that coming out at 8:30 tonight GMT +8. But I think what I'll do now is go to the charts and just give a little bit of structure here to some potential trade ideas. So with this in the back of the mind now, with the US dollar chart up here, let's go to the USD yen. And this has been a talking point as well. And I'll just zoom in a little bit and let's go to the 1 hour and I'll just restructure this a little. So this has been a nice trade. A few of the members have caught this on the upside and now it is coming back down again. This was mentioned yesterday as a little bit of a bonus by Jin as well. So points to pay attention to. We've got around 30 pips or so away here is the 111.56 level, which has been a recent level of support. And we have, again, the US dollar very extended, but there's a reason for this, and I will discuss that as well. But from a trade idea perspective, it's in the middle, pretty much in the middle of two levels. We've got the 112, which is resistance, and then we've got that 111.56, which is been seen as support. So we are closer to that level at 112. So my thought process is let it come back up again. There's no point really, if this trades sideways, there's no point just sort of jumping in there because the probability is not in your favor. So let it come back up again. If the US dollar makes one more push to that top, that's, a 12-month high, and then wait to see what happens there. And then if we do see some downside, entry at 111.90, and then at least there, this is a short-term trade though as well. So we've got an entry at 111.90, and that gives us, around 35 pips of take profit, and then a stop loss of 20 pips. So again, though, this would be for someone who's happy to scalp a position and it's a short-term trade. But again, guys, what I'd really like to see is it really break out again and come back down. But for now, we might see the US dollar start cooling off a little, but that needs to be dependent on what happens with the US 10-year Treasury bond yield as well. So I'll update on that as well in the chat, but that's currently over 1.5%, which just means that's indicative of US dollar strength if we do see that US 10-year bond yield go higher, but it's not currently. So we have to sort of wait and see what happens there. So that's the trade idea on the USD yen. Now let's go to the pound yen. So the pound yen has also been offering some nice trades as well for the members in the club. Now we are closer to that resistance level there. So we've got coming up here is 151 flat. And that is, as we currently trade, it is still around 60 pips away. So this is going to be more of a patience trade. And now you're probably coming in and saying, well, Scott, we could just play the upside. The reality there is, even though we have seen, there's been a little bit of support down here as well. I would say, let's just see what this does. We've got around, 2.5 hours or a little bit more until that GDP figure comes out. And that's really going to drive, the price, honestly. And that's going to be what we need to wait for. So let's say we do see it come back down again. And then we come down to around the 150 flat area. I'll just readjust this. There we go. So we come back down here and then wait to see what price action does. But the problem is, though, that's not really a significant support level. So really the safer bet would be, let's say GDP comes in at target at 4.8% and it hits that 151.00 level. We are still seeing a lot of uncertainty in the pound as well. So what that might mean is that a lot of people might get sucked into that play. Oh, GDP is good. And then what will happen is that will be a nice opportunity then to short it. Because then let's say the entry is at around 150.90. And then you've got, I'm not suggesting we're going to see it come way back down to 148.90. But if you've got a 30 pip stop loss, and an entry at even at 150.80. So we've got 150.80, and then we've got 30 pips stop. I mean, at least 90 pips until we get to that recent level of support there is my call on the pound yen. Would be 150.80 as an entry, 30 pip stop loss, and then a 90 pip take profit as well. But be cautious again, guys, because we are seeing the markets really flip-flop in regards to, the yen coming up with a bit of strength. And if equities do bounce, that is going to see the yen weaken. But it is looking like there are still some concerns in the market. And then finally, we've got the euro yen just to discuss. And I'll bring that up now. So euro yen, this is a bit more of an imminent play as well in regards to where we are with the levels. So it's been interesting. President Lagarde from the ECB actually was a little less dovish than normal. And we have seen the euro yen come back up again. And obviously, the thing is now, we're close to this 130 flat level. And the euro itself has been a little more challenging than other pairs, although the pound short has made the most sense. So with this here, and again, it's just dependent on how the price action reacts. You just really want to wait and see if it can come back a little bit closer. And there's been a lot of chatter out from the ECB as well. And we've just seen it weaken, break through. I'd like to see it come back and just see if it can touch or even break above the 130 flat level and then come back down again. But again, it's just going to have to be dependent on how things play out in the European session. But you do have a lot of downside as well, because let's say price does come back down and we enter at 129.80. There's a lot of downside. I mean, is there upside? Well, there is, but the markets have really not been in favor of taking the euro much further above this, 130.40 level. So I would say show some caution. If you are looking to play the trend, it's looking like it's a little exhausted as well. So an entry at 129.80, I'd like to see actually probably a 40 pip stop loss just to survive any, push high that we've seen. So 129.80 is the entry, 40 pip stop loss, and conservatively around an 80 pip take profit as well. All right, so those are my thoughts on the euro yen. Now, quickly, I'll just touch base with gold here. So gold has been interesting, and I saw Kim Hong answered a question from one of the members in the private forum in the club about why gold is actually doing this, considering the uncertainties as well. And it's really, like he mentioned, to do with the 10-year bond yield. And simply what is happening here is that we're seeing strength in the US dollar because of that, more rapid interest rate rise than has been expected. So the global economy, besides Evergrande, which seems like the Chinese government are just forcing other companies to buy assets. So that's going to be, frankly, it's going to be absorbed, it looks like, internally, those issues for now. So with gold, to be honest, you just have to wait and see what the US dollar does. I mean, if you've taken a long already and you're in a longer term play, that's what we're looking for. So, I'm not suggesting it comes back down to 1672, but honestly, I'd like to see how this week plays out, first of all, and if we can see the US dollar break out. So I am looking to buy gold, but I'd like a better price here. And I think we might see it rally a little bit as the US dollar weakens, but then into next week, we could see another push on the US dollar. Like I showed, there's a lot of upside there. So wait for now, and really back down to the 1700s is what, I'd like to see on gold before, a position is taken there on a long. But those are my thoughts there, guys, on gold as well. All right, so those are the trade ideas there. Now, up next, we have currency strategist Gim Hong, and he'll just be going through a trade idea on the pound yen for us today. So over to you now, Gim Hong.
All right, thank you, Scott. Okay, let me share my screen. So, pound yen. Oh, wait. Did my screen just freeze again? Can anybody hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. It's just that you're still sharing. I haven't seen it yet. Still
all right. Okay, I think my screen is back. Awesome.
It's up. Okay.
Okay, great. So, pound yen, BOE may start talking about rate hike. Don't bother about what that talking about means. Okay, it's basically something that Jerome Powell came up with, okay, months ago. But anyway, all right. So the motivation behind this trade idea is actually a straddle setup. All right. So this trade idea was sent out on 13th of September. Okay. I think like few days after the Bank of England's, I would say the committee members' testimony in front of the Parliament, UK Parliament, okay, on inflation report and monetary policy report. All right. So I think I've mentioned this several times already. Okay, during that meeting, okay, Bailey actually highlighted that half of the committee members actually felt that the conditions for a discussion of an increase in interest rates has been met. So that sort of like led to a strengthening of the pound. Okay, so apparently, okay, I'm just going to jump straight to the chart. Apparently, it did not really break out of this zone. Okay, as you can see, highlighted by this purple region over here. Okay, this around 140 pips zone. Okay, so apparently the inflation testimony, okay, that time wasn't, in a way, wasn't strong enough, to break above this purple region. Okay, nonetheless, I drew it out, and then we just leave it there and let it run. Okay, so eventually, okay, it actually got triggered, okay, on the 20th of September, which is indicated by this vertical yellow gold dotted line over here. Okay, so I think that was last Monday, okay, when the whole Evergrande issue, kind of like shook the market. The market was actually worrying that the Evergrande saga may actually be the next Lehman, may repeat the whole Lehman saga again. So, there was a strong sell-off, okay, in risky assets, risky currencies like pound, okay, and the demand of safe haven assets increased, all right, which led to this strong 160 pip downward move by pound yen, okay. So it actually triggered the sell stop order at 150 at 800, yes, 150.800, and it actually, within the next one day or so, it actually went close, okay, it actually come down close to my TP level of 200 pips, okay. So I think it's some, oh my goodness, I cannot imagine I'm doing this. It's some like 10 to 15 pips away from hitting the take profit level, okay. But it actually bounced back, okay, it actually bounced back. And I think 2 days, 2.5 days later, during the on the 23rd of September. Okay, that was the day that the Bank of England will actually be announcing their monetary policy decision. Okay, so prior to that decision, hours before, I actually closed a trade and notified Traders Club members on, just close this trade. Yes, the profit is meager. Okay, meager in terms of when it comes to what do you call that? The swing trading. Okay, of course, 61 pips is a lot, and it's when it comes to like intraday trades, right? But when it comes to swing trades, it's but I personally feel that there was a risk. Okay, if I were to hold on to it, I may actually turn this winning trade into a losing trade. All right, which was why I actually sent out a message telling traders, if you guys actually take up this trade idea, just close this trade. All right, so I actually closed this trade for 61 pips, and true enough, okay, during the central bank meeting, okay, well, I actually covered this whole thing back in the post video, right? So long story short, they actually mentioned there is actually a possibility of a rate hike later this year. All right. Now, like, reason being because they actually mentioned in the monetary policy meeting minutes that we don't need to stop. We don't need our QE to end before carrying out an interest rate hike. Okay, that is the key point. All right, that's the key point that sort of like in a way surprised the market. All right, leading to many analysts on Wall Street to actually carry forward their projection of the first rate hike by the Bank of England. Okay, so I closed at this yellow horizontal line over here, right? And a few days later, it actually went close to my stop loss level. I would have had a heart attack by then, to be honest. Okay, turning a profitable trade into a losing trade. Okay, so at the moment, it's actually trading, close to the level that I closed. All right. If you guys actually left the trade running, it would have been a roller coaster ride. You come close to the TP level of 200 pips. You guys thought that you might actually, get the money and that's it. But then you actually went all the way back up to a stop loss again, close to stop loss level again. All right, giving you a second round of heart attack. Okay, roller coaster ride before coming back down. Okay, at the moment it's still uncertain. All right, and with all the whole Evergrande saga going on and upcoming monetary policy meetings in October, nobody knows what's going to happen, right? So I guess my main key point to be made over here, okay, in terms when it comes to trading, is that I think I made this point a couple of days ago or yesterday, right? When it comes to trades coming close to the TP level, coming close to your TP level, all right, you may actually want to consider closing your trade. But as to how to do it, it can be ideally, okay, the reasons must be constructive. Okay, constructive meaning, like, for example, I closed my trade over here. I could have closed my trade one day before, okay, but personally at that time, one day before the Bank of England meeting, I felt that it's still a bit too early, okay. But then the next day it actually shot up, and I decided to close it like halfway into the day. All right. So constructive reasons being like we are actually expecting maybe a change in direction when it comes to a monetary policy decision or meeting, right? Like in this case, Bank of England, all right? Or maybe there's any change in political agenda, or maybe elections, or maybe the recent Evergrande saga, okay? If let's say, Evergrande right now were to come out and say that we have raised enough money to pay back the interest to our bondholders, okay, then that will definitely, be like I would say, a relief sent across the market. Okay, so that can actually cause a resumption of a risk on sentiment carried out by the market, right? So you may start seeing things like yen weakening, dollar weakening, Swiss francs weakening, because traders out there, market participants out there are more risk. Their risk appetite has actually increased. Okay, and that is if the Evergrande saga, there's a change in event of the Evergrande saga. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is, you can close your trade for profits as long as you have constructive reasons. Don't give reasons like, oh, because I just don't feel good that this trade is going to hit TP. I don't think this trade is going to hit TP. That's why I'm going to close it for 180 pips right now instead of waiting for my 200 pips TP to be hit. Okay, so don't give reasons that's more emotional kind of aspects. Okay, so you can also say that at this point over here, when I close my trade over here, we can see that the MACD indicators are turning, right? So if technical indicators are something that you guys use often, okay, like in this case, we are using two MACD indicators. One is the sped up indicator by Jin, all right? So it actually gave I would say a faster indication of a loss in momentum, a loss in downwards momentum in this case, okay, which is partly part of the reason why I closed my trade, all right? And of course, fundamentally, there's the upcoming Bank of England meeting, okay? So with that, I've come to the end of my sharing of my trade ideas, okay? With that, I'll hand it back to Scott.
All right, thanks, Kim Hong. And I've got a question here from Mary. Just wondering if the pound New Zealand long-term buy trade idea was still valid to take on. Just what your thoughts were on that.
Okay, so for the pound Kiwi, let me check. Let me get the chart up. The pound Kiwi trade idea is currently still running. All right. Let me pull up the chart quick. So I believe you are referring to this trade idea over here, right? Pound Kiwi. So yes, it got triggered on 28, 2 days ago, all right? But then, it actually came back down, okay? Another roller coaster ride, some 180 pips drop, okay? But it has since recovered at that time, all right? From that time. At the moment, okay, is the trade idea still valid? Yes, it is still valid, okay? Fundamentally speaking, all right? I'm still expecting the Bank of England to be hawkish, all right? I mean, after the recent monetary policy meeting, okay? On the other hand, okay, for the Reserve Bank of New Zealand, recall that they actually recently, Assistant Governor Hawksby, okay, actually came out saying that, central banks around the world are actually considering interest rate hike at the denomination of 0.25%. Okay, that's actually hinting that the RBNZ may not be carrying out a 0.5% interest rate hike the next time around when they meet in October, which I believe is coming soon. All right. So fundamentally speaking, my bias is still bullish for pound and bearish for New Zealand dollar. Okay. Technically speaking, the indicators are still pointing upwards, right? Indicating a upwards momentum. So yes, to answer your question, is it still valid to take on? Oh, valid to take on. Okay. If you actually enter the trade, it's still valid to be hold open. Okay. To take on right now, I would still say, yeah, I would still say it's still valid to be taken on. Meaning, if you want to enter a trade on pound Kiwi right now, a buy trade, okay, it's still valid, all right? But just pay attention to the stop loss level, because I set my stop loss level at below this straddle, I wouldn't say straddle, but this range over here, right? So if I were to take on this trade idea right now, I would actually keep my stop loss at the same level and my TP at the same level as well, except that, okay, because the entry level is way below the original entry level, you will be in profit before me, right? Because it's you guys will be entering later and at a better price in this case. Okay, so yep, that's my answer to your question.
All right, thanks for that, Kim Hong, as well. And thanks, Mary, for the question. So up next, we've got the senior trading coach for LCMS traders, Daniel, and he'll just be going through how the live trading call went last night for the club members, and also a little bit about what the LCMS Traders Club is all about. So over to you now, Daniel.
Hey, thanks, Scott. Okay, yes. So yesterday night, every Wednesdays evenings, 9 p.m. we have a live trading session. You know, it complements the Monday call at 8 p.m. Call, live sessions call, you know, where we actually have a live trading sessions or monitoring the markets together with the club members here. We do the preparations, know what's happening in the market, you know, should we be cautious? Can we take any trades? Is there which currency pair should we, news probably coming in? Is there news trading that we can trade on? So a lot of things could happen during Wednesday's 9 p.m. session. Okay, so yesterday there wasn't much news happening until, you know, almost 11:30. But there's so many different central banks speaking, so we had to be cautious with that. So one of the things that, because we knew about that, we knew that we had to take a very short-term trades, maybe up to like 11 o'clock. It's good time to close the trade, and a lot of members actually commented that actually they actually closed the trade before that to secure their profits. Okay, maybe I'll share. There was a couple of trade ideas we did like yesterday. Maybe let me share with the trade ideas that we had yesterday. One was actually for short-term trade. I mentioned that we were looking for very short-term trades. Well, one was Aussie USD. If it breaks below 0.7195, it did that. It did happen during the session 9 to 10, but it happened later, which I tell the members there, if it happened, we could probably be looking for a quite good 20 pip kind of short-term 20 take profit targets. Of course, you could go down in all the way to 0.71150. It's happening, but I told everyone that you have to be cautious because there's a lot of central banks talking then. So if anyone want to take a trade, you can be short-term trades coming in. And then one of the other trades we were looking at is like track below 129.65 for Euro Yen, dropping down. It didn't happen that, but you know, this is one trade either we were looking for, you know, and many more. And one of them I would like to highlight was the CAD Yen actually. Where's my CAD Yen? There you go. CAD Yen. We were looking really very patiently coming in, breaking below 87.62. And the reason was because we were looking at the WTI, and if it does continue to weaken in, you know, we were saying that it must go drop below somewhere like 74, 73, 74 level, you know, this 74 level, it drops really strongly down, where it shows the WTI, the oil demand, good price dropping down, which are closely correlated to CAD Yen. We could be looking for a very nice breakout. You can see it's really supported here at 87.6. If it breaks down, then we could be looking for a very nice possible trade coming down, you know, coming to previous low like 60 pip stop loss for a 30 pips kind of thing, stop 30 pips stop loss, 60 pips take profit kind of it. And I think this trade is still valid, so it's free for you guys there. But we have many more different currencies there, so I wouldn't want to share everything except for the club members. So you know, for club members coming in, okay, for club members coming in here, I would really suggest you to join. And for tonight, today, for last night's one, I've already placed it up in the LCMS Traders Club Facebook club and also the EcoFin, the video here last night. Go ahead and get watch it and learn from it. Any questions you can ask in the trading floor. So for those that are non-members here, if you're wondering what this is the EcoFin Trading Club. Okay, trading club here, where you can see the trading floor, so much questions and answers happening, what's happening in the market. Everybody, we host a community of traders here, tossing and trading, tossing ideas around, discussion, and also taking profits together, doing a lot of sharing here. So so it's really very beneficial when you are trading. So trading does not need to be alone. It can be very lonely, but with a host of communities here, you know, you can walk the distance and you can trade for a long time and be profitable here as well. Okay, so then not only that, so we must thinking that how do you join this club? You know, the club members access is really worth thousands of dollars because there's so much benefits here at tradersclub.lcms.com.sg. Scott has placed up the link there already. You know, we have not only that, we have many more like signal analysis there, web, Kim Hong has already showed you about the long-term trade ideas that he has. Everything, all the resources are in the club here, you know, and only these right now is only needed for $49 a month. Now, this without a doubt, the least you must do to ensure you achieve your best in trading. Now, tip for you. Really, right now we have. You just go to www.jintaothai.com. I hope, Scott, could you help me give this link again? I know you gave it already. Put it there because this is really something good for you. You should come and join us. You know, this in jintaothai.com, a lot of benefits here. You could click out for the free 4-day FX Kickstarter on the YouTube channel. Watch it there. The link is here. But what I want to highlight to you is for this club, you have we are giving everybody 1 month free access to this club here. So right now, again, click onto www.jintaothai.com, scroll it down, key your name and email, and you will give you and sign up, and somebody contact you to give you your free access, 1 month free access to join us right now and be part of the community. So make sure there's with no excuses, make sure you get on board right now and benefit from that. Join the club. See you then.
All right, I posted the link as well in the chat, so please click that, guys. Take advantage of the resource that is available as well. And that is the end of the currency call. Thank you so much for watching. And for anyone that is interested in actually investing in Forex as well, but doesn't really want to trade themselves, we offer a managed account service. Please visit ForexBriefcase.com as well. We will get in touch with you, leave your details using the website links as well. And thank you, Gary, as well. It's our pleasure. And thanks everyone for watching. We'll see everyone tomorrow for the CAD and crypto analysis. Bye.